Hello and welcome to another gear review with me, Anjay and AM Guitar. Today we are looking at the Flashback 2 Mini from TT Electronic. So first of all, a massive shout out to TT Electronic for sending this out to me to review. It has been provided to me, but it will still be an honest review. You can't buy me, but you can try. Maybe you should. Anywho. This is a small version of the Flashback 2. It has a lot of the same functionality as its bigger brother, but obviously it's down to 3 knobs and there's a few limitations. We'll come into those in a minute. The first thing to consider with this, and I'll come to this later, is it's really hard to review this pedal as a standalone pedal because the software that you use, the Toneprint software, is so important to what makes this pedal great. And it is great. So the first thing to look at, taking it as a standalone pedal on its own, you have a delay, feedback, level and mash button. It comes pre-programmed with a analogy tape delay, with the mash button providing kind of an increased feedback, so it goes into kind of self-oscillation. It is true bypass, but it has a buffered bypass, which allows it to use trails if you want it to, and you can turn that off in the software as well. And as I said, it's got this mash button where pressing it will turn it on and off, but pressing and holding it will give you a variation in whatever the effect is that you assign to it. It's like an expression pedal. The other thing that you've got on the side here is a USB socket that allows you to connect it to your computer. Using the Toneprint software, you can put onto this almost any type of delay you can possibly imagine. And if you haven't got it on the artist-provided Toneprints or the kind of TC Electronic templates, you can make it yourself using software on an Android device, an iPad. I'm using an iPad here for the demo, or indeed your PC. And then you can save the new settings to your individual devices. This will only save one print at any one time. So for me, what I've done with this is I've set it up as a kind of an analog delay or a tape delay that has a few little features like pressing the mash gives you more feedback, and also adds some flutter and wow. Turning things up changes different parameters as well. That's probably enough talking for now. Let's get it on the board and just show you what it can do and demo the Toneprint software a little bit as well. Before we move on, could you please subscribe if you haven't already? If you have subscribed, thank you very much. I love you. I love all of you, but the ones who subscribed, I love even more. Let's do this. Okay, we're all set up. I'm going through my Maybury Telecaster with its new P90, into the Flashback, into a clean amp on the Boss. Clean amp sounds like this. No reverb, nothing. Now, as I said, explaining this as a single pedal is doing it in a slight injustice, but we're going to demo with my settings that I use on the board, and then we're going to use the Toneprint software to put some other settings on it so you can hear a bit more of what it does. So, everything at 12 as is traditional, switch it on. So I've got a tape delay, various parameters set. So the ramp on the time, I've given it a slightly sort of wider sweep around the middle just to give me a bit more adjustment on the actual time. Level's got a fairly linear path, and then feedback, I've got it so that it doesn't go to absolute insanity. Does eventually fade out, it doesn't go into kind of infinite. However, I've got the mash button to do exactly that. I'll just hold the feedback button, the mash button down, and it'll keep going forever. And the mash button's also pressure sensitive, so if you just want a little bit of that feedback as I've got it set up there. It will just bring in a little bit. The harder you press, the louder it will get. So you can get some really nice kind of ambient endings to songs, and something like Champagne Supernova, you can do some really cool stuff. No! Champagne Supernova, you can do some really cool stuff. So the thing I've got set up is as you roll the other thing I've got set up is as you roll up the feedback, you get more flutter and wow and stuff. Just for a bit of fun, we'll put some drive on that, and then I will show you some of the Toneprint stuff that it can do. I think you agree, that sounds pretty cool. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get the Toneprint software. I'm just going to put some random tone prints on there so you can see just how versatile this actually is. Okay, so I've got my iPad. I've got the Toneprint software open. This has tone prints for all their Toneprint capable software pedals, including the sub and up, which I'll show you another day. I'm going to choose, to start with, I'm going to choose the Albert Lee go-to Toneprint. Albert Lee is known for a clean sound, so it was important for him that the Toneprint didn't disguise the tone. This delay puts a single repeat with some added chorus. Okay, so I press the beam to pedal, hover over my pickup. You get a little green light starts flashing on the pedal. It's now red, so it's now programmed. So put it down to a single repeat. That's nice. Let's choose a different one. Maybe something a bit more extreme. Brazilian waterfall. Now that sounds cool. Deborah created a super smooth digital delay perfect for melancholic fingerstyle. Okay. That's pretty chilled out, I like that. Do one more just to show you what else it can do. And then we'll have a little chat about it. So what else we got here? Space Flange. Well, Space Flange. Lots of long program, that one. This one, to do with keyboard players. Apparently he's a keyboard player who's played with Alice Cooper. Okay, let's try this then. adds some modulation at the end. Something you'll notice there as well is when I turn the pedal off, you got a trail because it has the option of being unbuffered or buffered. So you can set it up to be buffered bypass, where when you turn it off, you get the trails. If you choose not to, when you turn it off, it just goes dead straight afterwards, which I think is also another cool feature. And as I said, the thing with this is really hard to explain what it does because it does so much. You have digital delay, analog delay, you have tape delay, you have shimmer, you have modulation. There are so many different things that this will do, and you can edit and tweak every single parameter. So if you don't like what's there, you can choose one of the templates and just completely change it to be exactly what you want it to be, which makes it one of the most powerful kind of mini delays I've ever seen. Now, obviously, it's slightly reduced in functionality from its big brother, the Flashback 2. You can't store more than one tone print on there, and you are beholden to the device that you've saved things to. So a problem that I've had is I've saved things on the PC, changed them with what I had on there from the iPad, and then I had to go back to the PC to load the original tone print back on that I wanted. So you can't share tone prints, which is a pretty big limitation, but not of the pedal, of the software. And I'm sure they'll fix that at some point, because patch sharing is one of the biggest things in digital pedals at the moment. So, but for me, this has now replaced the Veilton AD10 that I was using, the analog delay I was using, because it just gives me the flexibility and allows me to set it just the way I want it for my board. In much the same way as the Sub and Up Mini, I completely changed all the default settings to fit my style of music. I'm able to use this for the really subtle delay that I tend to use, but can also ramp it up if I want to go something a bit more ethereal and ambient. So yeah, really, really impressed with this. Absolutely recommend it to anybody who's looking for a small footprint delay, and not very expensive delay, but also one that will allow them to pretty much do anything they want. And you add into all the different settings, you add into the mix the mash button, where you can get it to do anything from bringing the feedback, increase the delay time as you push your foot down, to adding wow, flutter, anything, any setting that you can change can be assigned to the mash pedal, which gives you even more flexibility for playing live with it. So yeah, absolutely my current favourite delay pedal that is on my live board and will be getting gigged very soon. What do you think? Have you used these pedals? Have you used these pedals and not had the Toneprint software? Because I can understand if you bought this, you might be a bit disappointed if you didn't then use the Toneprint software. It's one of these things that really needs the software to make it everything it can be. Let me know in the comments. Let me know your favourite delay pedals. What have you used recently that you think are great? Like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.